Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Another season of Diverse Talking Head podcast. This is our season two, and I am your host, Calvin Gibbs. We're so glad that you are with us today because we're going to talk about a very important topic that's going on in our schools, in our nation, actually, talking about school safety. And I have a top notch panel here with me this evening. First, I'm going to introduce have our regular panelists introduce themselves, and we will begin with ladies first.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm retired and I do volunteer work.
Thank you, Karen. And next, we will have the man from Kansas, Mr. M.
Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, I'm right on the border, so both sides. Yeah, my name is Mark, and I work with a garden program that we have in schools in Kansas City, Kansas, and the public school system there.
All right, thank you, Mark. And next, we have the man that plays a mean bass guitar, Mr. Juan.
I am JD Wine, and I'm a systems analyst, as well as Calvin said, I play bass for my church's worship team band.
All right, thank you, JD. And next we have the Cal Ripken, the iron horse of this podcast, the man that has been in every episode so far, Mr. R.
Well, I wasn't in the episode that you had all ladies, although I sort of trying to slip in there. But hi, I'm Charlie. First, I want to say to Calvin, thanks for doing this again, our second season. I'm honored to be here. I'm happy that you have decided to continue with this show. I'm also happy that we have many of our returning panelists back tonight, as well as new panelists. And I hope we have many more new panelists this year. I work as an Uber driver, so I get to talk to many diverse talking heads. And I'm also involved in charity work as well.
All right, thank you, Charlie. And next I have my Toastmaster brother who was a division director at the same time I was, and we share a lot of great memories about that, I'm sure. Mr. M.
Thank you, Calvin. Good to be back for another season. I'm Dan. I do project management for several companies, and I also speak on ageism and ageism in the workplace, and glad to be back.
All right, thank you, Dan. And we do have a guest panelist with us this evening, a person that I have known for quite a while now, before she even graduated high school, I knew her, and now she is a mother and entrepreneur. Please welcome Miss Bobo. Can you unmute yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Robin Bobo. You have definitely known me since I was maybe about 14 years old. And I am now an adult, mother of three, married for 15 years to my business partner and best friend, my husband. I am a director for a vacations company and vice president for a not-for-profit called Think Tank Foundation.
All right, thank you very much. So we are going to jump right into it. You know, this past summer, with the tragic school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, you know, it got a lot of people talking about school safety. I mean, it was tragic that those kids had to lose their lives in that way. And as the story has evolved and we start to pull back different layers, it seems that there may not, all of these safety precautions may not have been followed. There is a good possibility that some of those kids could still be alive if safety protocols that had been in place were carried out, and if somebody just had some foresight as to what creates a good, safe school environment. So let's get started. And the first question I'm going to ask will be for Mr. Mark. And Mark, are school shootings becoming more common?
I believe so. I think we had like 6 school shootings in May throughout the summer. I was reading a study done by Columbia University that said 4 more people are killed in this horrific manner every 47 days. It seems like, according to that same study, states that have more permissive gun laws, where it's easier to get a gun, those states have more school shootings in them than other states. I think it's just so easy for people to acquire a gun and buy it and carry it around. And our state governments have eased up on so many of these laws. People can carry guns that are designed for warfare into churches and schools, and in a matter of seconds kill lots of people. And I personally think that school shootings are related to our gun laws and how we have such crazy gun laws in our country. And most people in our country want to have safe gun laws, safe gun legislation. Don't take away people's guns who want to be hunters, but certainly guns that are used for warfare, I don't know why people need to have those in their everyday lives, and why it's so easy for some 18-year-old or 19-year-old person to be able to walk into a gun dealership or a gun fair and buy these things so easily. So I think it's an epidemic that's unique to our country.
Okay, I think it's a serious problem, and I don't think it's unique just to our country.
You know?
I don't think it's unique just to the U.S. I've been doing a little research, although it happens primarily here. I'm talking about the gun violence in general. In schools, it may be focus may be given to the U.S., but I think overall we're seeing more and more mass shootings. We're seeing more hatred, and schools are a microcosm of life. So my next question is for Karen. Karen, what can be done to prevent school shootings?
I'm really not sure what can be done, but I mean, is it a mental health issue? Do you have enough people on staff to recognize disruptive behavior and hopefully help that kid resolve what's going on? Is it bullying? What causes the individual to want to commit a mass shooting? And those are questions that can be answered, have been answered, but still we don't have the correct understanding as to why someone does it. We know that someone goes home, gets a gun from their home, comes to school, and they go in and they just start shooting randomly.
Okay, thank you, Karen. JD, are guns the only threat to school safety?
Probably not. I wouldn't say guns. I mean, you call maybe think about other weapons, and as what Karen was talking about, sometimes those are, like the issues that go around. Like whether it's some of it's, as Karen pointed out, mental health issues. Sometimes it's bullying, maybe maybe in some cases substance, and in some cases, as far as them being able to get guns, sometimes it's as you said, Mark said earlier, sometimes it's the way they're able to get it. Sometimes it's maybe easier, sometimes maybe even, dare I say this, sometimes it's accessible through their own families. In some senses, sometimes maybe other means.
Okay, so you think that guns are not the only threat to school safety?
I think it's just a contributing part, but I wouldn't say that's the only one.
Okay, well, would you say that the school lunch is a threat to school safety as well?
No.
I would.
Mark would. Very good. Very
Have you
good.
had a school lunch?
I'm sorry?
Have you
Another
got
show.
I
into
have.
Another show.
I definitely will.
No,
I try to have a school lunch at least once a year to just see what these kids are eating, and it's not good.
no, I haven't had a school lunch in a long time, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. But Robin, I want to ask you a question since you do have kids of school age. Is there anything that you've seen as far as safety in your school, or maybe haven't seen that is a concern or something that you like in your children's schools?
Yeah, I have seen over a time period from my oldest child, who is 16, to my youngest child, who is 7, them start to implement more safety precautions in school and really make it the entire staff's duty to kind of know what is our plan. Sort of like family plans where you kind of map out, if there's a fire or if there's, something happens, this is our plan to escape. This is where we meet up. They started to do that more in schools. And the downside of it is that they have to do this now because there have been so many active shootings in schools. But I have seen even the teachers, my husband, he's a teacher, they have active shooting training now, and they come up with what the plan is and how to put precautions in place to make sure that everyone is safe. And then the downside of it is, you don't always know if it's going to be fruitful, because my daughter did have an active shooter alert at school not too long ago. She goes to school in Dallas, Texas. And even though the school had training in the plan went awry because everyone panicked. So they're trying to do it, but there's only so much you can do with what you have. And dealing with children, they can be very unpredictable too. So
Very true. Thank you for that. Hey, Charlie, in your mind or your experience, what makes a good safety drill at a school?
I don't think I can speak to the specifics of that drill, but I will speak to the process of creating the specifics of that drill. And that is often done within the school or school district, where the policies are developed from research out there or other events out there. And the number of those policies, and I think that my wife works in the school, are evolving right now because of the concerns about this issue. And once those are determined, I'm not sure how far along they are on them. They have had drills there, but they're using those things and they will revise them as needed. But they do the drills so people know what that is, staff as well as students on that. At my wife's school, she is actually a person who lets the kids, the students in, the children in the morning. There is a front door, there are double doors. She holds open one door, another individual holds open the second door, and the children are let in. Once they are done, the doors close, the doors are locked. All buildings, things in the building, other entrances are locked as well, so people cannot get in from the outside. If somebody wants to get in the building during the day, they either go to the front door and buzz in. They will be let into the office, which is at the front of the building. And then if necessary, if they need to go into the building after that, staff will okay that.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Dan, let's talk about the perpetrators of these crimes. Do school shooters fit a specific profile, do you think?
I think there is some profiling. I think part of the problem here with our discussion is we're blaming the victim. We can harden a school. We can look for mental health. My wife, as a school social worker, had over 600 kids to cover. There's no way you'll catch everything.